And a lot of people are victims their entire life. Even me, I was a victim for a lot of times, and it's not always your fault. It's not always your fault that you're a victim. It's not always your fault that you don't realize things, but it is your fault that you choose to stay that way. It is your fault that you choose to continue that path. It is your fault. And you actually, there comes a time and a place and a day where you gotta wake up and you gotta realize that you went through trauma, you went through crap, you had anxiety, you had all these things. Your environment can cause all these things, your childhood, whatever, right? But in the end of the day, are you gonna choose to stay that way, or are you gonna get up, realize it, become aware, become self-aware of your own things, take accountability, take responsibility of what you've done, of who you are now? Who are you today? It's a choice. You can choose who you want to be. You can choose to get out of that crap. You can choose to get out of the mud. You can choose to heal and to work on yourself. It's not easy, but you know what else isn't easy? Struggling with continuous mental anguish for the rest of your life. Not having good, healthy relationships, not being a healthy person, being obese. That's not easy either. No matter what path you go, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. But if you choose a path of obesity, let go of all your inhibitions, just have sex with random people, what's that going to lead to? STDs, disease, lack of emotional connection. Oh, being afraid your entire life. Oh, I'm afraid of abandonment. I'm afraid that people are going to leave me because my girlfriend or my parents left me or whatever. Then what are you going to do? Your entire life, you're just gonna base your entire life over that pain instead of healing it, healing the pain, healing the belief system that you've created in yourself, whatever your brain has created to protect you, telling yourself you don't need to do that anymore. I choose a different path because love does not equal pain. Love is love. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is long suffering. Love doesn't just give up. Love doesn't just boast. Love is not envious, but love gives to others. Love sacrifices yourself for others. Love is sustainable. It's steadfast. That is real love. Whatever you went through in the past, that's not who you are. That's not who you are. And I'm not speaking to people with normal childhood. You grew up with a normal life or whatever. Good for you. I'm really happy. That's great. But you know what? We can't sit here and compare our lives to people because no one's life will ever be the same. You cannot compare. You weren't dealt with the cards that you wanted to. You weren't born a millionaire. You weren't born in a politician's family. You weren't born in a famous person's family. Boo-hoo. Get over it. Move on. Stop being angry and bitter with your life and just get out of your mud and realize that you are more than this, that you can choose to stop. I started becoming abusive. I started becoming rageful. I had no respect. I couldn't even keep a friendship or a relationship properly. I had a relationship, it became so toxic. It was so toxic, it was draining the life out of me because of my own insecurities and because of what I learned from my parents. But you know what? I had to stay one day and be like, I gotta stop. I can't continue the cycle. I cannot continue to act like my mother and my father, because if I continue to act like them, what's going to happen? My children will suffer. My children's children could possibly suffer. I will suffer my whole entire life. I will have issues. If I go down this path, if I continue this path, literally my body shut down. I couldn't even exercise. I couldn't even move my body because I was eating junk food, because I was just no care, smoking, drinking, no care. My body shut down. I couldn't work for months. I was having mental anguish. I was trying to kill myself almost every day. I wanted to just kill myself. I couldn't handle it. I could not take it anymore. I was on meds. I was on all these things. None of that helped me, because you know what really helps you? Sitting with your pain, dealing with it. It's uncomfortable, but what else is uncomfortable? Living with it for the rest of your life, or dealing with it now, healing with it, and choosing better. Your brain creates an illusion that you're in so much suffering. It's like that guy that's like, it's like you're in a 2 feet pool and then you're like, I'm drowning, help. And then you get up and you're like, oh, it's like 2 feet. It's not even that deep. Literally, your own brain creates your own crap sometimes. You just gotta stop. Your brain, to me, you know how I view it? I feel like the brain is actually separate from our body. The brain is kind of separate from your own soul, who you really are. Like your brain, it's like you have a symbiotic relationship with the nervous system and the brain, and then who you really are, right? Not every thought that you think is even your own. Not every thought you think is your own. A lot of the thoughts that you can think can come from programming, can come from subliminal messages, can come from even spirits, the spiritual world, can come from music, can come from other people. A lot of the messages the thoughts that you think in your brain don't even come from you. You actually have to become aware. This is where I get into realization. I realize the first step of my framework that I created, and I went through hell. I had mental anguish for years. I couldn't even function. My body shut down. I became 230 pounds. I couldn't even walk properly. I was sick, tired, constantly suicidal, constantly just tired of my shit. I couldn't take it. I just felt so much shame, so much pain, so much bitterness. I would literally just, my brain was like on fire. I would literally just get images of my mother yelling all the time. My brain didn't feel safe, so it created a coping thing. It would make me disassociated from my body, and then I would just numb out the pain by, on your nervous system, it calms you. You feel calm when you do those high dopamine rushes, right? So that's why a lot of people have substance abuse, because to relieve stress or to relieve pain or to relieve boredom or whatever, right? When you do those things, the human brain and the human body, it likes that extreme high dopamine rush. It just makes you feel like, it just kind of like shuts you down. You just kind of like forget everything. You just kind of check out, and it feels good, right? But in the end of the day, is it really helping you? No, it's making you weaker. It's making you sicker. It's making you unable to actually deal with your problems. It's just giving you an escape that's not realistic, an escape that's actually dragging you down, not lifting you up. All those escapes that I used for years, I became sick. It literally made me sick. Some people won't get sick right away. Some people will get sick maybe after 20 years, 30 years, but it will catch up to you. I guarantee you. I was a nurse. I was working as a nurse. I saw people with their legs cut off, their arms cut off because of diabetes, because they stopped caring about themselves. They stopped taking care of themselves. They were just complacent. Their mindset. I noticed the people, I used to work at a nursing home, right? And I noticed one thing. The people that prayed, that were grateful, that had gratitude, that were kind to others, they healed. They healed faster, quicker. They were healed. They were out of the place. They got out of there. They had a positive attitude. They had gratitude. They were kind to people. It was their mindset. It was their mindset that got them out of there. Then I saw other people, they were angry, they were bitter, they treated people like crap, they were mean, their mindset was so negative, they're just always angry about whatever, just be angry about something. And they had their legs cut off, they were just constantly complaining, sad about their life, angry about their life. They stayed in there. They didn't get anything sorted out. And they were just sick. They had diabetes, they were just sick constantly. And my point is here, you choose the life that you want to live. My default was depression. My default was anger. My default was just bitterness. My default was just sadness. I had to realize, I had to actually change my thoughts. I actually had to, okay, what's going on here? What's actually happening here? Why is my default like that? Because I chose to be like that. Because I chose to go in that default direction of sadness, anger, complaining, complacency, coping, bitterness. Because of whatever happened in the past. I use it as an excuse. Well, my parents, I don't know how to change. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. I understand. I get it. But the first step to actually change your life, to actually live your highest self, to actually heal, is awareness, realization. You have to become aware. This has multiple layers, right? You have to become aware of your childhood, your youth, even, it can even happen in your adult life. But you have to become aware of where these beliefs came from, where these dysfunctions came from, where this unsafety in your body came from. You have to become aware of that, your external environment. That's the first awareness. Then the second awareness is awareness of yourself. Awareness of, what do you actually do every single day? How do you treat others? How do you treat yourself? What is your mindset like? Right? And what do you choose to do? What's your lifestyle? What's your habits? You are complaining about not having a good life, or not reaching your goals, or not reaching your dreams, but what are you actually doing every single day that's leading you to that? Do you think that a certain lifestyle, you think if you just don't change anything, you think if you just doom scroll every day, eat junk food, binge eat, go watch porn, just drink alcohol to numb the pain or because you're bored or whatever, do you think any of that is going to help you become successful in life? Do you think any of that will help you actually reach your goals? No, absolutely not. I had to become aware. And a lot of the times I wasn't even aware of my own behavior. I had no idea. I was literally in my own crap. And my therapist helped me. Therapy can help you. Journaling can help you. Asking yourself questions, asking yourself eye-opening questions, realize, why am I doing this? Why am I disassociated? Why do I feel numb? Why do I have these substance abuse issues? Why am I an addict? Why am I addicted to certain things? Why am I, just ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself these questions. Sit with yourself. Instead of automatically going to that thing to relieve yourself of anxiety or whatever. Anxiety is literally because you feel out of control, because you want to be in control. But guess what? You're not gonna ever be in control of your external environment. You can never control other people. You can never control what happens to you. But you know what you can control? How you are. You can control your emotions. You can actually control your mindset. You can control how your body reacts. You actually have control over it. But a lot of the times we're not taught how to take control of our mind, of our body, of our soul. We're not taught how to do that. And so we instead just cope. We instead try to escape. We instead try to distract. But distraction, coping, escapism, how long is that going to do that for you? How long is that going to work for you? Because it doesn't really work. Long term, it doesn't work. For 5 minutes, 10 minutes, few hours, it'll work. I used to smoke weed. I would binge eat food and then I just pass out because I'd feel a certain way. I'd feel uncomfortable. I was bored, or I felt bad about myself, or I felt like I had a severe anxiety. I would struggle with severe anxiety. And then I would just go and smoke weed to relieve my anxiety. And then, but you know what I realized long term? Weed was making me, I couldn't think straight. My memory went away. I became dumber. I became weaker. I actually got more anxiety. I was more irritable. I was more angry. When I didn't have the weed for a few minutes, I gained like 30 pounds. I became fat. I became even more sick. You think that these escapes are going to help you? No, it's just going to make it worse. Long term, it's going to make it worse. It's going to make you worse. And it's stopping you from your purpose and your calling and who you're meant to be. First step of my framework was realize. You have to realize what's going on, realize yourself, realize your internal locus of environment, and then realize the causes or whatever contributed to trauma, your behaviors, whatever it was. We're going to get into the other 5 steps of my framework, the reset framework. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for listening to my story and my journey, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It would really support me as I'm sharing my story. If you could subscribe and like my videos, comment down below if you've dealt with trauma, if you've dealt with these issues before, if you've dealt with coping mechanisms, with drinking, with smoking, anything like that. If you've dealt with those things, you can comment, tell me your story. I'm listening. I'm here for you, and you're not alone. I'm here with you on this journey. I love you all.